Alright guys, it is Sunday with another crypto market price range. Let's see how we are doing today with the market. As of right now, looking pretty green for this past week. We just had we have a little bit down, but that's because the market is actually resting. This is actually a good thing what the market is doing right now. It's not bad at all. You do want things to go up, and then you want it to come down and rest, then go back up, then come down and rest. And that's a healthy move. So as of right now, it is looking pretty healthy. So we'll go ahead and get into it. The first one is Cardano. We're going to start with. Cardano's got some really good news. Cardano originally got approved to be listed in Japan cryptocurrency exchanges. So that is a good thing. That means more people can buy Cardano, which means there'll be less on the exchanges, which means the demand will be higher. And that will also boost up the price because more people are buying it. Also, they announced that they moved from the Alonzo White to Alonzo Purple, and now they're starting to onboard more users, more companies. So they're still stressing it to make sure that everything works fine. They're trying to find ways to break it, so let's fix it now before it gets fully released, which is a good thing. So this is all positive news for Cardano. Let's see how they're doing. So right now, man, they've been making a great move from what, $1 to $1.45. That is impressive. Look at a lot of greens, a little bit of resting, more greens, a little bit of resting. It's definitely a healthy move. If it can stay above the $1.44, it should be able to run this thing all the way up to $1.70. I will say by this week. It's if it does need to come down and rest a little bit, it will rest probably around 135, maybe 125. But other than that, once it finds its support, it'll start taking off again. So we're probably going to be looking at $1.75 here pretty soon, just because everything is moving to the upside. Very healthy. All right, next one, AMP. AMP is still pretty new, so there's still, you see, there's not a lot of data for them. They are still holding around the 6 cents. Don't be surprised if this coin does drop down a little bit farther, down to 5 cents, around there, because it's still in a range. Right now, it's up and down, up and down. I don't see it breaking the 7 cents anytime soon, not yet. It just needs a little bit more time. But as of right now, it's one of those coins that it's good to buy and let it hold for a long period of time, but don't expect anything quick. Not yet, at least with these guys. All right, next. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin, man, this is the biggest mover. Man, it went from what, the $30 that we were all concerned if it dropped below, man, for about 8, 9, 10 days, just straight up. Came back down, found support, runs right up. Now it's looking for a little bit more support. So it might come down. It's one of those coins that we're right now kind of keeping an eye on to see if it will need to come down a little bit to the $41 range before it can push to the upside, or will it go ahead and start pushing to the $47 range? That is going to be one of those things, because there are more machines being plugged in from the mining that got kicked out of China. So the hash rates are starting to go back up. So there's a lot of positive stuff going in. More people are watching. Banks are buying it. Whales are buying it. So everything is catching up to it, and this thing is going to start bringing the price up. But sometimes, even though you have all that good news, the price can still drop down, to around 39, 40 bucks. But yeah, 40,000, 40 bucks. Yeah, I wish I get Bitcoin was 40 bucks, 40,000, and then it starts taking off again to 47. So it's one of those where right now it's just resting, and it's a good resting period. Nothing wrong with it. So it's very, very healthy right now. All right, next coin, Enjin. Enjin, of course, is it's a coin that is for gaming mainly. So I'll put that right down here. Enjin allows gamer developers to tokenize in-game items on the Ethereum blockchain. And what happens is when people play games, let's say you're playing some warrior game and you get a helmet. That helmet will have a value to it, and that's what the Enjin coin does. So the person can use that helmet, or they can turn around and just destroy it and get Enjin coins from it. So now it has value, and they can use those Enjin coins to buy other things. So it's pretty cool how the way they do it. So it infuses them with reserve values. The item has value. It ensures their transparency and scarcity. So there's only so many of those things you can get. Gives them instant liquidity, so you have money, you have more Enjin coins. Provides utility in game and apps. They got anti-inflationary. Excuse that language, I didn't say that right. Inflationary, that's better. So they're talking about where you can actually bring items from one game into another game, which is pretty cool. And that is what this token Enjin will do, or is doing really. How are they doing? Sitting around $1.43. Right now it's finding some resistance at $1.50. It really doesn't have much holding it down because it finally got above all the lines. So don't be surprised if out of nowhere this week it starts running to $1.99 to almost $2, because it has the room and the legs to move, and there's nothing really holding it down. So if it breaks above the $1.50, you're looking at a 50-cent run here easily. If it does decide it wants to come down to $1.25, it's got a lot of support. Even the cloud is there supporting it coming up. So this is a coin that wants to go up, not down. All right, next, Ethereum. Of course, this is the biggest news right now. Ethereum burned 36% of the new coin. Of course, we went through the London hard fork, so it got away from somewhat mining, not all of it, and now it's doing some staking, more staking than mining with the miners. So they've been changing things up, and since the activation of the Ethereum improvement proposal, the EIP 1559, the network has removed from circulation or burned over 5,000 Ethereums. Wow. Worth roughly $14 million. This represents 36% of the total new coin issuance over the same time period. So this new system is still, new now. It's kind of need to get some legs underneath it. But even though they did all this, it's still kind of early. When you try to spend Ethereum, you don't know what the gas fees are yet. There is no, minute by minute changing constantly still. So it's still not a point where you can say, okay, if I spend $40, I already know it's going to be, $1. Nobody knows. It could be $1, it could be $7, it could be $40, and it changes by the minute still. So if they were trying to fix that, unfortunately, they still haven't. All right, so we'll see where that goes, but it's still new. At least they're going the right direction, and the value of it shot up like crazy. It went up by $1,000 already within, look at this, all greens, one red, all greens, a little bit of red. Man, it's insane. Yeah, and if it manages to stay above the 3,000, it will definitely keep going. There's absolutely nothing holding this thing, but it is a little extended. It is time for it to come back down a little bit. Let's not get greedy. We all know it's going to come down. So for those of you that are looking for profits, quick profits, this might be the time to kind of cut some, at least get half of it out. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to do the disclaimer. Always do your own research before investing, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. Going back to this, I would get at least half of it out now, so if it does drop, at least I know that I can pick up some more down here. If you're doing the short term, if you're doing the long term, you should have been in back here, or probably even farther back here, and it doesn't really matter what it's doing, because from here on down it's all going to be in the green money wise. So if it does fall back down, we're probably looking around dropping down to 2,500. If it does do a big drop, because that's a really long green. Even if it drops, it has to drop at least 50%. You're looking coming back down to 2,500. If you're looking at history and what it did normally, all the coins do normally drops 50%. That's where it should be healthy if it finds itself. If it doesn't, and it decides to keep running to 4,000, then it'll probably find a resting period around 3,000. So this will see what it's going to do, up or down. But as of right now, it is extended. All right, next one is the graph. That one, I actually have a video coming out this Wednesday on the graph and what they do. So keep an eye on that one. And so the blockchain, the graph, adopted Polygon, which is MATIC, for all their billing. So, and it's a pretty good company. Think of it as Google, you know, for the internet. If you were able to get in on Google when it came out versus how much it is worth now in the market, you would definitely want to look into this one. But otherwise, Wednesday I'll bring it up. How they're doing? Very new company, just started in December, I think it was, this of 2020. Just came out. They only been out about 7-8 months. Took off to $2.80, and now it's resting around 70. It does have pressure to the downside still. It probably will sit there for a while till about September to see if it does break. It's probably going to keep bouncing down until they can get above the moving average here. So as of right now, we're looking sitting between 85 cents and 60 cents until it can actually pick up some legs. But as of right now, this is not a coin that's going to be running anytime soon. But definitely has a lot of great potential for what they're doing. But all right, next, not much we can say on that one. Unfortunately, it just came out. HNT. All right, so it's hitting resistance at the moment. It does have a lot of support on the bottom. If it is able to get above the $14, then it has a nice little clean run to the 18 bucks. If it doesn't, then it might get rejected. Well, it might come back down to $11, 12 bucks, and then try again a little bit later to try to break the $14. HNT doesn't have much holding it down. It's just it needs more buyers, you know, to get it to go back up. All right, next one. Chainlink. Chainlink, yeah, it's going to be in a range for a little bit between 21 bucks and $28. So as of right now, that seems to be the home base for a while, between 21 and 28. It does have a lot of support on the downside, or to the upside, excuse me. But it might still want to come back down to the 20 bucks to find support. But other than that, this is where we're looking at, between 28 and 21 for right now, for a while. And nothing else for showing for that one. And Mana. Alright, so here's Mana. See, it's finding support. And if it's able to find support, it might have a good chance to break the 80-cent range. If it does break the 80-cent range, it will go back up to $1. The game itself, Decentraland, is getting a lot of attention. So more and more people are going in there. More and more people are buying. Same thing, they use Polygon, and they use the Graph. They use all those guys in their services. So the company's growing huge. Decentraland's being more and more known by kids and people that are playing the game. So this could easily shoot up in the next month or two to $1. It has everything that it needs to get there. All right, next one, MATIC, Polygon. Oh, we're just talking about this guy. Yeah, it's looking pretty healthy. It might drop down to 94 cents if it does do that. Otherwise, it has a nice little run to $1.60. And there's no reason why it cannot. It has everything it needs. There's so many companies using their services, and it's such a good company that there's no reason for it not to go up. But if it does decide to come down a little bit, it might come down to 90 cents. And I'll say honestly, that might be the last time you'll be able to buy at this price, because this sucker is going to take off on you. It's going to go up there in the $2 range. All right, next one is Solana. Solana is fighting that resistance. It almost made it above it and got pushed back down. If it can get above the $39, it will have a nice little run and around the 45, and it'll be in this range area. If it does get rejected back down to the 32, then we're looking at staying between 32 and 38 down here for a while. So it depends on if it gets enough momentum to get above it. If it doesn't, then we're going to be staying here for another month or so. Then we'll kind of revisit, see what happens, because the lines are coming up, but they're coming up slowly. So we're looking at, we follow this trend, yeah, like September. September seems to be a time for this coin to get support, to do something. So if I had to guess, it probably is at the highest it can be right now, the 37, 30, and it'll probably come back down again to the 33 range and play in this area, until, at least until another month, until its support comes up. Alright, next one is Theta. Theta, man, they got their own Theta NFT drop. Sorry, if you, just in case you didn't know that, it's at thetadrop.com. They have all these different coins you can get in there. You got poker. Katy Perry will be coming out on the fourth quarter. Digital assets. If you guys ever seen him, he talks on the show. He's got anybody up there. You got him. If you go in here, you can see who's in here. And they got their own Theta coins and cryptocurrency coins and jackets and all that stuff. So they do drop, and you do get like an email saying, and then you, as soon as you purchase something, so far everything that I've picked up with these guys, most of them I will say they're already the price already went up from the day that you paid for them. Most of them, some of them the price is still maintaining, but if you get an NFT, sometimes you just want to hold on to it for about a year or so and then try to sell it later for more money. But how is HNT doing? There was no other news for these guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Theta, not HNT. My apologies. How Theta is doing. Theta, that does find support, but it might come down to $6. But otherwise, as of right now, it's going to be between $8 and $5, somewhere in there, ranging this until it can get some momentum going. Theta has a lot of great things going, so not sure why the price hasn't gone up yet. Considering that they came down from $3 and worked their way back up to $6, I guess we can't complain, huh? But it should definitely be in the $10 range by now. So we'll see where it goes. But for right now, we're looking somewhere between $5 and $8, somewhere in there, in that range area. Probably another month, like all the other ones. All right, how is VT going? VeChain. VeChain finally got above everybody, but same thing. They came down from what, 6-7 cents? Yeah, from 5-6 cents. I was buying it around 6 cents. It's already up 10 cents. If it does decide to come down, it'll do it around 8 cents before trying to break the 11-cent range, and then probably get on top here and be between 10 and 14, or 11 and 14. So right now, from where it stands, it might come back down a little bit, just so it can get the strength to break through. Or in about 8 hours, we'll find out if the next candle will be green and it pushes to the upside. VeChain's a pretty good company as well. Alright, what do you got next here? XRP. Oh, this is the most volatile coin I've ever seen in my life. Oh my, it's insane, this coin. This coin is, honestly, if it's for short-term investors, not for long-term. Because it will go from 60 cents, it will shoot up to $1, shoot up to $1.39, shoot up to $1.96, crash down to $1, go back up to $1.60, come right back down to 80 cents, drop down to 50 cents, go back up to 80 cents. It is like one of those coins that if you want to make a quick in and out, this is it. This is the coin for you right here. This thing is the most volatile coin in history. For long term, if you were to pick up anything this for long term, this might be the time to do it before it decides to shoot back up to $2, before it sneezes and comes right back down to 90 cents. You know, so it's impressive. Because right now it has all the support on the bottom at 80 cents. Don't be surprised if this thing shoots up to $1 by tomorrow. It's just insane the way the thing moves. But it's very, very volatile coin, that's for sure. So as of right now, I don't see it going down. If it does, it'll drop around 70 cents. But if it does decide to go up, you're looking at $1. This thing will probably ignore the 90 cents thing. It'll just run right through it. But I guess we'll see how that one is going. All right. So I think that's all I got right here. All right. So I will link any of those articles that I showed you at the bottom so you guys can read them. If you want to see any other coins, just drop me a note Other than that, I will see you guys in the trading room.